Hello everyone! Today I'm going to cover the basics of preparing, baking, and icing a cake. First, we'll need to gather our supplies. Choose our pans and the type of cake. Make sure and choose the type of cake according to the occasion. Some basic supplies needed are a mixer, measuring tools, a cake leveler, and spatulas for icing. Alright, now we can prepare our cake mix. Some prefer box cakes. Not me. My grandmother has given me many of her old recipes, and I've actually perfected many. Okay, first we're going to preheat our oven. Generally, you'll set your oven to 350 degrees. However, some ovens can vary, so be sure and pay attention to your cake as it bakes. I like to do the toothpick test. When your cake is almost done, just take a toothpick, stick it in the middle. If it comes out clean, your cake's generally almost done. Okay, now we can start mixing our ingredients. I start off by mixing all of my wet ingredients first, like butter, the flavoring, eggs. I'll get that going in the mixer. Then I'll slowly add my dry ingredients, like my flour, sugar, baking powder, anything else. I find this works better than adding the dry ingredients first. After the batter is complete, with a smooth, even consistency, we need to choose our pan. Depending on the cake, like bundt cakes require a circular pan with a hole in the middle, while traditional cake pans can be baked in mini-sized pans like square, circular, and are generally solid and flat. There are even specialty pans called character pans, which are shaped like Spider-Man, butterflies for example, and will be in the shape of that character. After selecting our pan, we must then prep our pans. I always like to cut a piece of wax paper and place in the bottom of the pan to eliminate the cake from sticking. Okay, and don't forget to spray your pan too. I prefer Baker's Joy over any other. Okay, and depending on the type of cake, baking times can vary. Like pound cakes generally take an hour, while a standard sheet cake or a round cake, for example, like this, generally baked for 30 to 45 minutes. Excuse me. After the cake is done, I recommend removing them from the pans. Removing a freshly baked cake is much easier than removing a cake that has set and cooled in a pan. The proper way to remove a cake is to flip the pan over, upside down, of course, onto a cooling rack, which I don't have right now. And I like to tap the outside of the pan and the top of the pan with a spatula or butter knife, whichever you have handy, all around until the cake releases. Then we can cool the cake on the wire rack. If the cake is at all unlevel, then we can use our leveler, which I don't have on hand at the moment, but the leveler has adjustable sides. You can just pull out and move up or down, and you can run across the top of your cake, and it has a little wire that cuts the cake. It makes it all level and not uneven. When the cake is done cooling, we can now choose our icing. I again like to make it from scratch. My basic buttercream frosting recipe is 1 box of powdered sugar to 1 stick of butter. Then I add in 16 ounces of cream cheese and a little almond flavoring. Next, I whip up the mix in the mixer until it is smooth. Now you're ready to ice the cake. I generally start on the sides of the cake. I find that easier. And then I'll take a large dollop, place on top, and move around the top in a circular motion. And then you can find lots of different icing tools at your local hobby store. I get mine here at Hobby Lobby in Statesboro. And remember, practice makes perfect. Now you know how to prepare a cake. When it comes to baking, the possibilities are endless.